Thank you for watching. This is Dr. Ginger Lee. I want to go over shoulders, upper body. I'll always incorporate some breathing for you. There are so many exercises. I just love the fact that our bodies gives us so much variety to work from. Just think that we want to take care of our bodies, okay? They are our time travel machine. They take us into the future. Our bodies take us into the future. So we want to have a nice car to drive. This is the car to drive, right? So take good care of yourself. So I'll first talk about the hand, and then I'll go into the shoulders. In general, you want to do a lot of movements for the hands. Starting out with all the little joints of the hand, okay, like that. And then don't forget the thumb. Wiggle thumb. It depends on how flexible you are. This might be really easy for you to do, or it might be really hard if you're having pain. So you start out with the little joints first, and then you go each movement. So like this, stretching back. But when you stretch, be sure you're stretching one segment at a time. One segment here, one here. Give a little joint play into your ligaments, okay? And then you want to stretch here. So you want to stretch this here, okay? And then downward, the same thing again. You want to go curling in, all the way in like this, all the way in here, and the wrists like that. So everything should be curled completely. By the time you finish, you would be able to curl this way, like this, and then you want to turn so that everything gets stretched, and turn like that, okay? So reason why I explained that about the hand when we're doing shoulders is because many people think, oh, I have shoulder pain, I'm just gonna do, this kind of thing for my shoulder. So they're thinking specifically just one joint. But the connection is all the way down. So when you stretch your shoulders, all these musculatures are connected, segment by segment, okay? So when you stretch from your fingers. So you can do a finger flexion like this, make a fist, all right? And then you're gonna turn down, and then that stretches here, and it stretches here. So if you're doing this, like this, you're already stretching your entire arm and the capsules of your shoulder in the front. So this is the anterior capsule of the shoulder that you're stretching, okay? And then you can go this way, and then you can go across, and that crosses over this capsule, but is also taking account all the structures that's tying this together. So you want to pull here, pull back, but keep the fist, don't open. If you open, it's loose. This is not put in tension, this is not put into tension. There's not a full stretch here, okay? So make a fist and pull, and you're feeling it a lot more, okay? So think about that you have these strands, blood vessels coming down, arteries and veins, you have nerves, you have muscles, ligaments, everything is one, pretty much a branch, like a tree branch, right? You start with a tree here, you have branches coming out. So then why would you only want to work on one little segment of a tree, right? So stretch here, right? Move with this bent, move it wherever you want to. Think about this as your pointer, like this is Spider-Man, choom, choom, Spider-Man's usually this way, but like that. Like if you have something that's pointing out, you're gonna point with the wrist, and you're doing any movement you can do with your wrist pointing out, okay? Any movement you want, okay? And then incorporate this side. So you wanna fist this one, bend it in, It's very uncomfortable when you first did it because nobody's probably shown you this before. So you're bending like this, and then you're going out. Wow, you feel it. You feel it if you haven't done it. So go around. Don't move anywhere that makes you hurt. Okay? Move only what makes you feel like, wow, this is tight. I've never done this before and I feel tight. But it shouldn't give you sharp shooting pain. It shouldn't make you numb. If it feels numb, it could be like a temporary stretch of your nerve, but it shouldn't last. So just keep working on movements for one layer here. Okay, you'll feel it all the way back here, all the way here. Cross over, cross. Okay, remember always one side up and then the other side up. Always a balance of right and left side. That's good for your brain too, because your brain's processing information. So you're being more alert when you're doing things that you're switching. You're not going to sleep. Okay? Now the next one would be open palm and stretching the wrist like that. Right? It's like you're sending power out. Okay? So you're holding really strong, like if somebody comes and say, stop, or this is my territory, right? So you're gonna expand that. Think about pushing out, pushing around, like you have a sphere. And sorry for the noise, guys. You have a sphere, and then up, like that. We have a psychologist sharing room with us too, so okay, so like that. Okay, so remember the other way was you're pushing straight out, you're pointing with your wrist. This one, you're pointing with your palm and wrist here. So as you're more flexible, you're gonna be able to keep that almost 90 degrees, okay? But normally it would be like that, okay? So you're pushing out. So think of, remember the Incredibles, and they shoot these bubbles at them and they're squishing them where you're pushing the bubbles back out. Okay, push, 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 like that. Okay, so crossover top, crossover bottom, switching, right? Like that. And then you're moving in any way that you can. Circle around, circle on the bottom, crossover. Any movement that you feel your shoulder will give you. So some people who have shoulder pain, you might be able to move real good on one side, but like here, this is all you can do, right? That's all, that's good. Because you don't want to make yourself hurt. When you hurt, it's like your body is guarding more, it's hurting more, it's scared, it's fearful. So if you keep feeling scared and pushing into the pain, then your body's never going to relax. And it's always going to be irritable, okay? So if your shoulder hurts, you're just gonna go a little bit to wherever you can. Even here, like it hurts so much, somebody has really bad arthritis, osteoporosis, they worn out a bunch of things, then that's all you do. You just kind of move within this area or whatever area that you have movement, okay? And start with that and start getting the blood flow. The muscle pump will carry blood flow in and out, okay? And the nerves are traveling in and out, up and down too. So as you're doing that, you're activating your nerves, you're controlling your body by activating all the motor and sensory function in your shoulder. Okay, so you start with that, and then you do some other things to help your shoulder move. Okay, so one other thing I want to do is on the wall. So we're going to turn around and show you something on the wall. Okay, so I want to show you something about shoulders and shoulder blades that many people don't think about, because when they have shoulder pain, they keep thinking, oh, I'm just gonna try to move my best, up this way, right? You're concerned about washing your hair or putting on your bra for a woman, or reaching and scratching your back and you can't scratch your back, right? So people think specifically here, but people forget that there's also a shoulder blade, right? So the shoulder blade, and it's really important to think about the movement back here. So when you move, let's say if I leave and I move my arm, right? You can see the shoulder blade moving up and down a little bit like that, right? So you put your hands here and then you work on trying to move your shoulder blades only without moving your arm. You don't move your arm, you kind of anchor that down and then squeezing in and squeezing out. Most people already do a lot of elevation, so it's okay to do elevation. You can do elevation and drop, and elevation and drop, okay? But the thing to think about when you do elevation, don't squint and hold like that, because then you're really pulling too much on the neck. So if you want to do elevation, pull your neck down and do elevation with neck down. That at least helps to stretch the neck, okay? So when you're doing this, elevation with head down and that, just as a few warm-ups. And then what you want to do next, you want to do backward, forward, backward, forward. And then you want to do downward. Downward is the hardest. Downward. And then some people might arch too much like that, right? So try not to arch, try to keep your body straight. And then downward shoulder. Like that. And then you can do circles. Circle up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. And then you can do back, up, and forward. Back, up, and forward. Alright? The main idea is not just shoulder joints, elbow, wrist, hand, pull everything in, pull the shoulder blade in, and then next I'm going to show you how to stretch your trunk with it. Thank you.